kills Danny Trejo. And, you know, I remember when I watched it at first, I was
How
like,
do you kill Danny Trejo, first of
man,
all?
you got to be a bad motherfucker to kill Danny Trejo.
I mean, where was his machete?
But you know,
That's funny.
yeah, but you know, you're like, okay, you're really painting the picture of how, you know, ruthless Michael Myers is. He don't give a fuck about anybody. He got no friends. You know, he got nothing but just, you know, evil.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. What I didn't enjoy about the sequel that he made, it was awful. That Dr. Loomis. See, I thought the character Dr. Loomis in the remake was really good as well. I thought Malcolm McDowell was cast well for that character. I liked
Malcolm McDowell?
Do what?
Malcolm McDowell?
Yeah.
Is that the Clockwork Orange?
Yes.
Yeah, and see, I've never seen Clockwork Orange.
Oh, it's a great movie. It's one of my favorites.
I've never seen that. So to me,
He also plays Caligula.
That's true.
The Tank Girl guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was in Tank Girl. Tank Girl. Yeah.
This guy's like won Oscars and awards, and you remember him from Tank Girl. How insulting!
Hey, look, it could have been worse. I could have said, wasn't he in a Star Trek movie? He was.
Okay.
Was he?
In one of the New Generation ones, but I never saw it. I just know he was in it.
But I thought that Rob Zombie did a terrible job in that sequel. You know, they made where Dr. Loomis in the first movie had a relationship with Michael, and he tried to understand why he was like he was. And in the second one, it's literally like a couple of years, and
I haven't seen the second remake.
Don't even waste your time, because it sucks, man. They turned the Dr. Loomis character into this. He goes on these talk shows, and he's, you know, pimping a book about, you know, I understand the inside of the killer, and he totally just has abandoned Michael altogether as a patient, and so it's like that was your life's work, and you're just casually tossing it aside, and now you don't really give a shit. Hell, the original Dr. Loomis, in all of the Halloween movies that he starred in, except for that crappy third one, always was trying to get to Michael. You know, it was like he was the only one that understood him. In this one, it was just like, fuck it, man. I'm done. You know, I had enough in the first one.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Exorcist 3?
Yeah, is that the one where they go to Africa?
No, it's with George C. Scott, where he's a police officer, and there's this
the third Exorcist movie.
No, I promise you, to me, it's the best one of them.
Really?
It's the best one of them all.
They go to Africa, don't they? Or there's something about Africa in it.
That's the second one, I think.
Okay.
The third one.
The second one's called The Heretic.
They're back in pretty much the same town where the first one takes place, and there's
only one Exorcist movie, Joe. That's enough.
But I recommend the third one. It's very good. There's it's like big good psychological drama. The killer, the guy who is possessed and doing all the killings, is so badass as a fucking nut job that I can't see him in any other. And I've seen him probably 3 or 4 other movies where he just plays fucking psychological nut job. But so what else you guys want to talk about?
So word on the street is that you've got a ghost story.
Oh yeah, I want to hear your ghost story.
Recently, it's been a few months.
That's what I heard from a Canadian friend of mine. A Canadian acquaintance.
I was going to say your friends?
Acquaintance.
He has no friends.
I fell asleep on my couch, and I was whatever I was watching. I don't remember, but you know how on the back of your couch, it's not but maybe how tall, 2 feet maybe from where your butt goes to the top of the couch, depending on the couch.
I haven't really measured my couch. but sure, I'll agree with that. Okay.
Well, I took the remote when I laid down, and I put it on the top of the couch, and I laid down. Now.
This is a true story, then.
No, yes, it is. I laid down and I was watching the show and I fell asleep. Well, I guess at some point in the night I rolled over, so I was flat on my stomach laying down, and all of a sudden I got woke up by being hit with the remote control. And I don't mean like
this is actually a funny story, isn't it?
No, for real. If it would have fallen and hit me, it would have just fallen off and hit me.
So you wake up with like a remote smacking you in the face.
In the ass, actually.
Oh, the ass.
Yes. But here's the thing that bothered me is if it would have just fallen off the top, it would have just rolled down.
But there was some force to it, is what you're saying.
Some serious force to the point where it woke me up, and I know that if it would have, let's say it would have rolled off, it wouldn't have hit me in the place where it hit me. It would have just fallen to the side of me. Instead, it hit me flat. Just like that, I woke up And I remember thinking, what the fuck was that? I mean, I went back to sleep, of course. But the next day...
Did you call ghost hunters immediately after?
Yes.
I was hitting the ass with the remote.
Did you look for your PKE meter? I know that ghost is in here.
When the remote hit me on the ass, it automatically turned on the Sci-Fi channel, and I called you immediately. Well, you don't think that you just like were dreaming, or it just seemed more?
I know how it felt. I mean, I'm
maybe you just like took a dump and you thought it was
the most the most important thing to know is that even though I watch Ghost Hunters, it is to make fun of them while I watch it. Polly gets so mad at me because she really likes it. I met the guys, and they're actually very nice, and they believe.
So you didn't make fun of them to their faces?
No, actually, the one guy was huge. Two of the guys were really big. On TV, I looked at them like, yeah, I can take them. No, they're huge guys, and but they were really nice, man. You know, it was like when we went to Dragon Con, Paula waited in line. Everywhere you go, if you want to meet Malcolm McDowell, it's $20 for his autograph. You know, these guys were just like, yeah, man, how you doing? Why don't you come and sit down? And they talk music with us because one of the guys is a drummer in a band, and I make fun of the show. Polly, I don't know why you watch this show. All you do is make fun of it, you know.
Because
so I'm very skeptical about anything like that.
That's the entertainment value I get out of it.
Well, yeah, but this thing hit me, and I know that if it were to have rolled off the back of the couch, it would have slid down. I mean, it's a sloped couch. You know.
Now, was anybody in the house when this happened? You were by yourself. Paul was in bed.
In the house, just in bed.
Yeah,
you don't think she'd come in there and hit you in the ass with the remote and then went and jumped back in bed?
I'm going back to sleep.
I mean, if she did, she's not telling me.
Because this is the house you live in right now, correct?
Yes.
Well, see, their couch and their bedroom are really close, so she could have got up and seen Joe.
Thrown it from the bedroom.
Yeah, and just jumped right back in bed.
But I promise you, I woke up, wide awake the minute it happened. So
now, were you frightened when you woke up?
No, I actually thought, man, this thing fell off and hit me. And then I thought about it for a few minutes, and I was like, there's no way it hit me that hard just rolling off the back.
Has anything like that ever happened since in your house?
No, not to me. But
do you have underwear gnomes that live in your drawer?
But our neighbor, they were having a bonfire next door.
Right, a sacrifice.
No, we were sitting there,
sacrificing TV remotes.
And Mike, my neighbor, he comes up and he goes, "Hey, has anything weird been going on in your house?" And I was like, "Why?" And
I've been seeing Rick over there while you're not there.
Right, that's suspect.
And he goes, well, our daughter, she woke up in the middle of the night and just started freaking out and saying that there was a man looking in the window, but they're on the second floor. I mean, and you know, I guess you know,
it's a tall ghost.
I'm sure there were.
There was a Joe Polo shaped ghost
here, right? You know? Yeah. Exactly.
With a ladder.
I just like to throw remotes at people's asses.
Yeah.
The ghost that throws remotes.
Maybe. I don't know. All I know is that's what happened. I go with the fact that it rolled off the back and hit me in this, and it was just a once in a lifetime freak. I mean, it really hit me. But I mean, I don't know, man. The idea that it hit me the way it hit me is odd. It's really odd because it would have had to. You would have had to pick it up and swing it down to feel the way it felt. There's no way it just went, you know?
Right.
Maybe that was Jesus spanking you because you've been sinning.
Watching Mythbusters at 2 in the morning.
Right. That's definitely a sin.
Okay,
I was going to ask Justin, have you ever had any kind of paranormal experience, any ghost, anything ever happened to you in your lifetime that you made you wonder, was this, made you question, was this a ghost? Was it not a ghost? Do you believe in ghosts? I mean...
Well, I mean, I felt like I've heard my name a few times, like when I knew there was nobody there. More for me, it's like I felt like I've heard things somewhere. I remember when I used to live in my parents' house downstairs. I lived in a room that was in the basement, and there was a bathroom I'd take a shower in. And
in the basement with you?
Huh?
In the basement?
Yeah.
That's a pimp pad for a kid.
Well, not really. It was like...
Did you have your own way in and out of the house?
My brother's room was down in the basement.
I had that. I didn't have the bathroom, but I had.
Well, it was like mine and my brother lived. Me and my brother lived in the basement. We each had a bedroom.
Right.
And there was like a living room area there and a bathroom.
It sounds just like my house. Seriously, I had the same setup. Believe it or not.
Awesome.
But yeah.
You would hear your name. You felt like you were hearing.
Well, this was a situation where like I would take a shower and I feel like I would hear the TV like upstairs or no, I thought I would hear the TV next door to me because that's where the living room was.
Right.
And I'd go in there and I'd be like, I don't hear the TV, and I'd go upstairs and parents are asleep. There's no TV on. And it happened a few times where I thought I heard the TV when I was like taking a shower. Other than that, I don't really have any good weird stories.
What about you?
Yeah, I have two stories really, and
I know about one of them.
well, one of them was a friend of mine I grew up with. We were really good friends. His name's Kerry, and the house that they lived in, that they moved into, an elderly couple had lived there before. This was over in Kennesaw.
Were they brutally murdered?
No, what happened was the woman was coming home from work, and they had when you pull in off of the road, the driveway just kind of goes up, in an incline into the carport. And the lady was driving the woman was driving a Volkswagen Beetle, and she was coming home from work. It was just getting dark, and she pulled up on the incline, didn't pull all the way up into the carport area, pulled the emergency brake to go get the mail, left the car running, it was in neutral. And so as she got out of the car, apparently the car went out of gear and rolled over and killed her in her driveway.
Man.
And she's a little frail woman, and it was a really terrible thing.
Yeah.
So
was the car Christine?
It was Herbie.
They went bananas.
Herbie the evil love bug. He was the hate bug.
Yeah.
So
I will slowly ride over you, elderly ladies.
So they moved to this house and everything, and I remember, they had like a whole lot of really weird things happen. As far as like one night they come home, they went all out to dinner, and it was his sisters and his mom and his stepdad, and I think they had some relatives in town. I think it was like the holidays. And when they come in the house, all of the pictures that were all hung on the wall were all on the floor, but in the same position that they were hung on the walls in the same pattern. Yeah. It was just like it was if they just was picked up and just placed. But it was
were they facing up?
Nope, all down.
They were facing down.
All down and all through the entire. I think it was all through the entire house. Now I might be wrong, so they of course, put all the pictures back on the wall. I was like, that's really weird. And the other thing that they told me that was really bizarre was, yet again, I think this was maybe in the same week. There was relatives in town, and I know it was Carrie's grandmother, and she had sat down in a chair, and when she sat down, she asked Carrie's mom, she said, what is all over this chair? She had formaldehyde all over the back of her. The chair was like soaked in formaldehyde. Yeah. But the only thing that happened to me over there, now, see, this is just what they've told me and everything. The only thing that ever happened to me while we were over there, we were probably like 13 or 14 years old, and we'd go smoke cigarettes outside. Carrie's parents were really cool about that. They would let us smoke. We couldn't smoke in front of them. They'd just tell us to go outside and smoke.
We just can't see you smoke.
Yeah, it was weird. But
I don't want to visualize
you kids smoking.
Yeah, I guess they knew that we did.
I guess it's like out of sight, out of mind. I don't know.
Well, they knew we were going to do it, so they're like, look, we don't want to see it, but go ahead and do it. We can't.
It offends our eyes to look upon it.
So we would, And we would go outside and smoke, and we would sit down in the driveway. So Kerry, he had a room kind of like yours downstairs in the basement, and had a bathroom and a little living room area and two other bedrooms and stuff. And we'd go down there and hang out and listen to albums and stuff. Yes, albums.
Yes, albums.
And yes, albums. And
that was quick.
So we were going to go outside and go smoke. So we turned the light off. We go upstairs. We go in the kitchen. We grab us a drink. We walk outside. Light up our cigarettes, and we look up, and we notice the lights back on in Carrie's room.
Did the Yes albums transform into Asia albums?
Yeah. Roger Dean's artwork came alive.
All of a sudden.
So I said, I thought you turned that light off. And he goes, I did turn that light off. I swear I did. So we go inside. We turn the light off again. We both made a point to go down and make sure the light was turned off.
Like, see, I'm turning it off.
Yep. Went back upstairs, and as soon as we get back upstairs, the light's on again. So it was always just like weird little incidences like that would happen in his house. And then, in my house that I grew up in, also little weird little things like that. Nothing like super crazy, but I also chalk a lot of that up to, Kennesaw National Battlefield is, I grew up over there. So a lot of, people died and didn't even know, probably that they were dead. They just take a bullet to the head. Next thing you know, they're just wandering around probably like, what the hell happened, So my mom told
me, they're just dead and they don't wonder that at all.
My mom told me this. I remember this. She said she was laying in bed one night, and she said she was dozing off, and me and my brother was asleep in our rooms, and she said she was asleep. She just got good enough sleep, and she said all of a sudden what woke her up, she smelled this real foul smell of body odor.
Yeah.
And she said that as she was kind of waking up, she was like, what is that smell? It just was horrific smelling. And she said she opened her eyes, and there's a man standing at the foot of